Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Raila Odinga has cornered William Ruto, and without a shadow of doubt, I can assure you that there is no escape route for William Samoei Ruto. And when William Ruto thought that he had annihilated politically Raila Odinga, he is in for a rude shock. As we speak, there is a crisis meeting in State House. In fact, if I were William Ruto, if I was in his shoes, I would do the same. Because Raila Odinga has extended the demonstration days from 1 to 3, not even 2. Yesterday, in a press conference, Raila said that they will take some few sabbatical leave to mourn with the people who are victims of police brutality in the last demonstrations. And he announced that the demos will resume next week on Wednesday. Today, the Azimio Brigade has reviewed that calendar. And very fast, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to what they sent to newsrooms and in their official Twitter and Facebook handle. They say, review of third wave peaceful protest calendar. Further to the communication issued yesterday on the third wave of peaceful protest scheduled to start on Wednesday next week, and following overwhelming requests from all sectors of the Kenyan public for the need to intensify these demonstrations, the coalition hereby wishes to announce a revision of the calendar. Going forward, the peaceful protest will now be held on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week, in line with the request from the people to include 3 days of activity. Let's meet on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Azimio la Umoja, July 14th, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, that statement sounds very ineffective to some of you. But to William Samoei Ruto, to all the corners of the powers that be in Kenya today, this statement here has caused a storm, sleepless nights to William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, Kithure Kindiki, IG Japhet Koome, and even Madam Koome of the judiciary. Because what it means now in a nutshell is that if Kenya was losing 2 million Kenya shillings per day, that will be 6 million Kenya shillings per day. This statement is coming against a backdrop of chest thumping from the Kenya Kwanza team. I realized that there was a barrage of onslaught from William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, Cheragai, and even those who support them like Ahmed Nasir, the lawyer, Didmas Baraza, and all of them are calling upon the arrest of Raila Odinga. It is also coming in light of arrest of Azimio leaders, people like Oparanya, people like Makau Mutua, I understand he was also apprehended, and harassment of Azimio leaders, people like Martha Karua were tear gassed. And of course, you all know that very many people were killed, others were maimed, others are still in hospitals, and of course, Azimio said that they are going to stand with them. I need not to add that in Sondu border, the Kalenjins and the Luos there are living in tension because someone intentionally incited the two communities to fight each other. And so Raila Amolo Odinga, in full view of understanding, taking cognizant of the fact that there are a lot of things happening, he said this is going to go on for 3 days in a week. Don't be surprised that a week after next week, it will be 4 days. And before we know it, it will be 7 days in a week. William Ruto, just like his predecessors, will know that Raila Amolo Odinga is not your ordinary man. I want us to go straight to reasons why I believe Raila decided to extend the demonstrations. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time, or if you're our regular viewer and you have not yet subscribed. To all our subscribers, our viewers, those who support us, I want to say thank you very much. I'm proud of you guys, and I'm really humbled to have you as part of this channel. It goes without saying that number one, why Raila Amolo Odinga has extended this is because of public demand. Raila has the backing of the people. Raila has the authority of the hustlers. And those who did not support the first wave of demonstrations, who thought that it was a Luo affair, who thought that it was a moment of idlers wasting their time on the streets, came back and they were calling Raila to lead the demonstrations. And if you witnessed what happened on Wednesday, in places like Machakos, where people are never known to be very active in demonstrations, police had to flee from the angry demonstrators. It happened in the backyard of William Samoei Ruto. It happened in the backyard of Rigathi Gachagua. And this tells you that people are tired. The only problem is that people like Rigathi Gachagua still don't understand the magnitude of the feelings of the people. People like Musalia Mudavadi, they still feel that this is politics being played by Raila Amolo Odinga. Let me tell you, this is beyond Raila Amolo Odinga. This is about the people. Why am I saying this? Raila has got no problem with the cost of living. Raila has got no problem taking his children to school. Raila can afford the most luxurious meals that he wants. I always say he can take his family to the best hospitals if he wanted. This is about the people. The people who voted for Raila Amolo Odinga, the 8 million he's been talking about. They're telling Raila, Baba, we want you to fight for us. The people who voted for Rigathi Gachagua and William Samoei Ruto, who were cheated during the campaigns, they're saying, Baba, we have realized we were hoodwinked, and now we are ready to join you. They are realizing that Raila is fighting for them. And Raila has got the authority of the people. Like it is stipulated in the constitution that the power belongs to the people of Kenya. They have taken their democratic right. They know that they have the right of picketing. They know that they have the right to peaceful demonstration. And that is number one reason why Raila Amolo Odinga is calling for these demonstrations. Number two, in the last elections, Raila was accused of abandoning the people. William Ruto saw a vacuum, a gap, and he filled it. He placed himself as the man who was speaking for the people, criticizing the same government that he was serving as a deputy president and taking salary as a deputy president. And he succeeded because many hustlers thought that this is the man who was fighting for them. And people accused Raila Amolo Odinga that he abandoned the cause of fighting for the people. And Raila has gotten a perfect opportunity, a golden chance to make up for the mistakes of the last election. I know he won, but some of the things that were loopholes is that he was in bed with the same government that people accused of the high cost of living. And William Ruto, of course, exaggerated this fact, and they really cheated people. It is time for Raila Amolo Odinga to make up for it. The demonstrations are going on to show the courts, because there is a case pending. The Chief Justice, Madam Martha Koome, is supposed to form a bench to listen to Okia Omutata's claims and prayers that the Finance Bill 2023 is just but a burden to Kenyans. And the ruling, many experts are saying, must take into consideration the will of the people, the public good and public concerns. If people sit down, William Ruto is busy following up on matters judiciary. He might compel, he might beg, he might bribe, because I understand that even Okia himself was offered 200 million Kenya shillings to abandon this cause. And so William Ruto is doing everything to ensure that he wins. Now the people, led by Raila Odinga, must also show the courts that we are tired. Because the main reason why people are going to the streets is to force William Ruto to lower the cost of living, something that was on top of his agenda. He had accused Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga as the duo who had melted our economic gain. And he said that when he got to power, within 100 days, life would come down. Today, they are busy accusing the former regime. And so these demonstrations for 3 days are meant to send a message to the courts that we are watching you. We are tired. William Ruto ignored them in the public participation about this bill. Parliament was coerced and cajoled. And the only hope here is the courts. If the courts will not listen, people are on the streets. So Madam Martha Koome, the president of the judiciary, and the entire judicial staff is watching as Kenyans demonstrate to show their solidarity. And they lament the high cost of living and the finance bill. Number 3, ladies and gentlemen, Ruto has always taken Raila Odinga for granted. When he got to power, he said Raila was finished. He bought some of the members of Azimio. He lined some of them in State House. He thought he would annihilate Raila Odinga. He started through Eliud Owalo distributing some relief food, thinking that that was enough. But if what happened in Homa Bay is anything to go by, Raila has consolidated that support. Because William Ruto succeeded in taking the people, some few parliamentarians, but the people are solidly behind Raila Odinga because Raila speaks their language. When Raila agreed for the bipartisan talks, William Ruto took it for granted. We had people like Jose Kamago coming to interfere with the server. And they started throwing words that Raila wants to come to government through the back door. Today, Raila Odinga has realized that William Ruto was taking him for a ride. And they have said there are no talks. These demonstrations will intensify to show William Ruto that Azimio and the people of Kenya mean business. To show them that there are no talks. That Raila is not interested in a handshake. That is not interested in taking any office as the official opposition leader. If anything, Martha Karua has told them that they want their victory. Hakuna nusu mkate, they want their full victory. And so this is meant to show William Ruto that we are in for business. Let him not take people for granted, because William Ruto always thinks that he can cheat all the people all the time. And he has always taken Raila for granted. I believe this time round, Raila will not back down again, because he has cornered William Ruto. The last one, ladies and gentlemen, this is a coded message to the international community that gave William Ruto this win. Raila has always told them that William Ruto still lacks legitimacy. William Ruto is still fighting that legitimacy. That is why he's fighting to buy members of parliament, to show that he has the people. Even the few who remained with him, who voted for him, are now running away. The citizens understand that William Ruto was never honest during the campaigns. There were campaign gimmicks. Even the mamambogas, the bodas, witnessed the appointments when people like Kidero and Omanga and Dennis Itumbi were given positions. Yet William Ruto said that he will consider the hustlers. And so Raila Odinga and the Azimio fraternity went to show the international community, the US and the UK, Madam Meg Whitman is listening. If you're listening, Raila Odinga has a message for you that William Ruto did not win. In fact, this is going on as they also collect signatures to show their displeasure to this administration. They wanted 1 million. People said, we can give you 10 million. I know IBBC will not verify the signatures, but they are genuine. So Raila Odinga wants to show the international community that here we are. We don't want this government. Kenyans don't want this government. The IMF is inside this because these are some of their dictates to ensure that they give William Ruto loans. And so for 3 days, consecutive days, people will be running on the streets according to the dictates of the constitution to show the international community that here we are. We don't need your policies because Kenya is an independent country. Finally, those people who have been yapping that they want to arrest Raila Odinga, Raila has given them an opportune time. On Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, let them go and arrest him. I have heard the Kenya Kwanza adherents telling me that nothing will happen if Raila is arrested. Let's see, because this is a litmus test. Let's see whether it will be business as usual. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but from where I sit, that crisis meeting must give a solution. Otherwise, Raila Odinga has cornered his brother, William Samoei Ruto. And that is my take.